Welcome to Go Team Score Points, a podcast that started because the news is a lot still, and maybe learning about sports will be nice sometimes. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Lakers sale, the new Denver announcers, and the potential mess the Nuggets have gotten into.
Yeah. The news is a lot.
Yeah.
Is infringing on the podcast. Anthony texted about a podcast with this guy, David Thompson, I think his name is. I think he's a financial journalist.
Yeah.
And was just talking about just how messed up the American sports system is.
Yes. And in fact, The Athletic, I think, something on the New York Times interviewed Pablo Torre.
Yeah.
And he was talking about sports bubble. This is a sports bubble.
Yes. As in it's going to burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it's like, you can't grow it anymore. Like, you can't grow it if you're already at $12 billion or whatever.
Oh, that's interesting because he knows a lot more about this than I do. But
I'd have said it wrong.
No, I don't think you did, but because that is an argument. But the guy this morning was saying how artificial the whole thing is. And that
what whole thing? What do you mean?
The structure of sports leagues. So the reason that all of this is coming up, another team sold this morning.
Oh,
the Timberwolves.
Really?
I think the majority owner in the Timberwolves sold his stake, which is a little bit different than the Lakers selling. My impression was that the person that the Timberwolves sold to already had some ownership of the team.
Okay.
Just bought a lot more, but the majority stakeholder in the Timberwolves sold his stake for $4.5 billion or something like that. So I don't think it's the same thing as a whole new ownership group coming in, but another team sold. This Mark Walter guy, basically, and this is just me reading and listening to podcasts and stuff. Basically, the gist is that this Mark Walter guy sells insurance as part of his portfolio. He owns a company that sells insurance, and you have to disclose what you're doing with people's money when you sell them insurance. And I think basically what he was doing was like paying himself with these people's money and then investing it in ways that he didn't disclose. It sort of sounded like what every insurance person probably does, which is get the money and invest it and hope that they make more money than they need to pay out.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's how they make money. But I think this guy was pretty dishonest about exactly what he was doing with these people's money. Everything about it is fascinating, right? And disgusting.
Yeah.
Right? Billionaires, whatever. And do you remember last year, Anthony asked us, what do you think is going to happen to Steve Ballmer, the Clippers owner, in this environment, this political environment? Do you think this guy who just sold the Lakers for $12.5 billion is going to get punished?
No
way. The podcast that I read said that he disclosed that he had used like 3% of the money that he had to invest in something. And I think it was like closer to 40%.
So is that why he sold it? Because they were like hot on his trail?
I think that's right. I think he needed cash, there's an interesting side story with that. But I don't have any faith that this guy's going to get in trouble. I mean, when has the federal government under Trump gone after billionaires?
They'll probably give him another tax break.
They'll probably get his picture up beside Kim Jong-un in the White House or something like that.
You know what? I bet he's going to be appointed to be like the education secretary.
Well, if that department, he's going to be appointed to end the Department of Education.
Yes.
So I think this guy needs money. I haven't heard why. There was something about the amount of private equity that can be used to purchase an NBA team is capped at 20% of the price or something like that.
Are you saying if we start a grassroots campaign, we can rally enough people together and pool our money and buy the majority of a team? We can call it a people's team or something. Can that happen? Can we do it?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That's not a no.
That's not a no. My guess is that if we could pull together $13 billion, they'd probably let us buy a team. I don't think the NBA cares about much of anything except for increasing the value of the teams. I don't think, which was a whole other conversation. There was rumor that this guy, maybe because of this lack of disclosure of what he was doing with the money, or if it was Middle East money that came in to buy the Lakers, had spent more than that 20%. No one's exactly sure why this guy needs all this money, but he's selling the Lakers. I don't know if there'll be some kind of plea deal. I don't know if there'll be, who knows. The other weird thing is that the Dodgers have won the last two World Series, the same owner, with like very sketchy money.
Yeah.
We've talked about comparing eras in sports and how in a weird way, you can't really compare this second apron era with, times when it was easier to build a team that had 3 great players for 10 years or something like that. And this, like the Dodgers were apparently playing by a whole other set of rules. This guy also just sold his stake in the Chelsea football team, like the Chelsea soccer team. And I don't know. I don't have any faith that anything's going to happen to this guy, but it's a disgustingly fascinating story.
It relates to the one comment we got.
Did we get a comment?
We got a comment from Brian. Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Brian
says, All of the teams in Denver are now owned in full or at least partially by Walmart daughters and their husbands. The Nuggets, the Avalanche, the Rapids by Kroenke, and the Broncos and Rockies 40% by Penner. Yay, money, score points. I used to prefer college sports, but now it's all about money too.
Yeah.
I know.
So the thing this morning, this guy was just laying out how sports leagues are playing by just such a different set of rules financially. And like the thing with Pablo Torre saying that there's a bubble, maybe. And I did wonder with all these teams selling, do they know something? Do they know that this is not going to be a safe investment for that much longer? But there's this bizarre, this is what this guy was laying out. None of these are my ideas. I thought you would find it interesting based on what we talk about. There's this false scarcity. You and I cannot go and say, we're going to add a 31st NBA team to compete, which isn't true anywhere else. If you and I come up with a great AI, let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll be billionaires, right? If we come up with a good, pretty much anything, but anyone can't get into that club unless the other 30 owners say it's okay. By the way, and if you pay them, I think what would be about $600 million each.
Wow.
To get into that club.
Wow.
This is highly illegal.
Yeah.
In any other field. He was saying if, let's say that the big, however many tech companies, if Microsoft has the worst year, like they don't get the first pick of MBAs, right? Coming from wherever they want. Some highly touted college student who's going to turn the franchise around. The salary cap is really strange. Can you imagine salary cap for engineers or for?
No.
It's so weird. That's part of the market. And it's not exactly the same thing, right? The leagues would not be as entertaining or as competitive, arguably, if there wasn't a salary cap and revenue sharing and things like that. Teams like the Wizards or teams like these small market teams just wouldn't have a prayer.
Oh, so how does baseball do it then?
Those small market teams don't really have a prayer.
Oh.
And rich people buy the Dodgers with money that's not theirs and then pay players. The Dodgers are just every single big time free agent in the last few years has gone there.
Wait, so in baseball, it really is just the same big teams over and over again?
No, there is revenue sharing in baseball. And I don't know the details, but basically the Dodgers share some of their TV revenue with other teams, right? To level the playing field a little bit. Also, really strange, right? In the wider market.
Yeah.
And I think probably illegal. But Apple and Google are certainly not. We had a better year, so let's even that out a little bit. So you have more of a chance.
Yeah, but they're all part of the same. They're not competing against each other necessarily.
Yeah, you're right. They're not competing in the same way. And you could theoretically start another league, right? Maybe we're just thinking of it in terms of the umbrella under the NBA, but the competition would come from the outside. But I suppose the way that the NBA is set up makes that impossible. Or at least there have been other football leagues that have started and failed miserably. But I don't know. I guess I don't know quite enough to talk about the details of that. But just the rules inside the NBA of these teams that are theoretically competing against each other and then sharing their revenue. But I don't know. What that guy was just saying, how the structure is very different. It's almost like a socialist kind of with the revenue sharing and things like that. I don't know. But I do think that the idea that they competing against the NBA is not really feasible. I guess maybe that Saudi money that we talked about, that other league, if they only played 35 games a year, and maybe they could pull some players and eventually some revenue away from the NBA. But the NBA is thinking about starting NBA Europe just to spread.
They always say that.
Yeah. I don't know how real it is. I have no idea how real it is.
And do they need an NBA Europe?
Maybe to protect against an alternative league.
Is this the time to talk about Jokic getting contacted?
Yeah, maybe.
By a team in Greece.
Maybe. Yeah. There was one other. Oh, the fact that there's scarcity in the NBA makes me think that what Pablo Torre said about there being a bubble I don't know if that's true. The team values just don't go down. They don't. There was a lockout in 2008. And a lot of what the owners are saying is these are losing money. We're losing money on these teams. And apparently that's just wildly untrue.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're allowed to write off any loss on their team and tax. So these, I don't know, billionaires don't lose money. That's not the way it works. And back then it was like people worth 8 figures instead of 9, but still, yeah, it was weird. So I don't know, a little bit dark. I'd rather be talking about like
the news.
No, but actual basketball.
Yeah.
Than the business.
We still got a couple months.
Yeah. A ways to go. So
we better find some personal interest stories ASAP.
Stat.
Yeah.
Give us good news. Some good news.
Yeah.
What do you know about Peyton Watson? Tell me about Peyton Watson.
Peyton Watson was on the Nuggets last year. He had a great year. He really showed up, and the Nuggets let him go. And now he signed for 4 years with the Cavs for $88 million. Good job, Peyton Watson. But I think from what I've been reading, Nuggets fans just have their heads in their hands.
Yeah.
Because I think people were really disappointed. This is just from what I've been putting together.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally sure. But it seems like people are disappointed in the huge contract that Christian Brown was given last year. And then he didn't have a good year last year. So hopefully he really steps it up, because he and Jokic, before he signed that contract, I started watching basketball the season before, and the two of them were so good on the court together.
Yeah.
They were like
simpatico.
Yes.
Yes.
But last year he just didn't have a good year.
Yeah. I think he was hurt for some of it, Christian Brown.
I know. Yeah. And he grew a beard. I don't know. That could have been part of it.
Yeah.
He was like, I just don't know if I can be seen by millions.
Yeah.
With his short haircut.
This was more second apron stuff. This was more like
So last week I covered the second apron. I explained it.
Yeah.
And then this week reading all this stuff about the Nuggets and how they handled this trade. And the second apron is more detrimental. My understanding was like that the second apron, they put a lot of different kind of penalties towards you that affect you now. But my point is the second apron has affected the Nuggets in a way that I still don't quite understand.
Yeah.
Like, I explain the second apron, I think at a very elementary level. I don't quite understand what's happening, but my understanding is they got rid of Peyton Watson, and in return, they got a draft pick in 6 years from now or something. They really did a disservice to the current team, to Jokic, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild how Jokic is prime. So what you covered last week was basically the financial punishments for being in the second apron, but it's also very restrictive in terms of roster moves if you're in the second apron. We talked about that a little bit, that you can't aggregate salaries.
That means combine them.
Exactly. In trades. And you also can't. So whatever was going on with the Nuggets, you sent me something that said that they couldn't have gotten any players back for Peyton Watson or something. There was some text like that. I don't know. It's really restrictive. This is like, it's just so interesting what the NBA is doing. We have eight champions, different champions in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep your team together.
Yeah.
It's really hard to play basketball now physically. It's really hard to play basketball now, meaning that if you play 100 games to get to a title in a year that ends in June and your season starts in October, the odds of your key people staying healthy again until next June.
Right. And
running into teams who have worse health luck than you and who have also struggled with their rosters or whatever is just like very, very, very unlikely. And again, it is doing what the NBA wanted, right? The odds betting right now are that a ninth team will win. The Spurs will be the ninth team to win a title in 9 years.
Oh, you're calling it.
No, I'm not calling it. But if you wanted to make bets, like if you go on or whatever.
I'm beeping that out.
Good. Oh, we're not saying the word anymore?
We're not saying
Okay.
Those guys. Good.
So the second apron is just making it hard to keep a team together. Really hard. I don't know. Interesting. It feels dark to me. It does not feel good. I think largely because there's just less money for players. Less money for players and less money for players in good situations and a less good experience for fans. Although maybe not fans of small market teams who wouldn't have a chance otherwise. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Weird times.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the other little Nuggets tidbit is that Jokic didn't sign this contract extension. So he's eligible, I think, now to sign a 5-year contract, which would probably be, I'm guessing, the richest in NBA history or something like that. I think he deserves it. I totally think he deserves it. He's 30, 35. At 35, who will he be? Will the Nuggets want to be on the hook to pay him $80 million in 2032? Or I don't know what it would be, but some gigantic number. I think they offered it to him and he decided not to. But the thing that caught my eye was that an owner of a team in Greece contacted him to make an offer to see if he wanted to come play there after this contract runs out. And he didn't sign, or it wasn't public, or if he made an agreement with this person or whatever. So he got offered. And I think that the guy who owns this team, this Greek guy, was like, I'm going to talk to him again. I'm going to keep on. And I'd be scared if I was the Nuggets. I don't really think it's about money for Jokic. I think he really likes to play, and I think he really likes to play at the highest level. But is there a number? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. Once we rally our grassroots group, we'll find out a little more. We'll talk to Jokic when we get our team going.
Anyway, so that's kind of the news as I know it that people are talking about in the NBA. I know. It just feels like a bummer.
Do you know who DeMar DeRozan is? Because I've heard that name before.
Yeah. He's a basketball player. He plays for I think he's on the Kings.
Guess who he's on now?
Nuggets?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So he played for the Kings last year?
Yeah. So he was on the Bulls for a really long time.
Okay.
Super talented player, and also had been a good stats, bad team guy for a long time. Who knows? Jokic can revive a lot of careers. I not really regarded as a winning basketball player, DeMar DeRozan. Yet. Yeah, maybe.
It's his time to shine.
It could be. Super talented. I was always weird. For the last 10 years, I felt like he just kind of killed the Celtics. It was like when the Bulls were playing the Celtics and there were close games in the fourth quarter, it was always like, dang it, that guy just can't stop him. Yeah. So who knows? Could be good.
Could be
good. I didn't realize DeMar DeRozan.
I think it just happened today.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Donovan Mitchell extension?
Yeah. On Peyton Watson's Cavs. So he signed some 4-year Supermax type extension.
Okay.
Probably north of $300 million or something like that. Big gamble by not gamble. I think they kind of had to do it. If they didn't re-sign him, that would be kind of moving on from this era. It would be so interesting to be one of these owners, right? So they've got this asset, which doesn't go down in money. And we say these numbers like the guy bought the Lakers for $10 million and then he's selling it for 12.5. We're like, oh, that's about 2, right? But it's $2 billion inside of the percentage of 12 billion.
Yeah.
The 300 million is real small.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Let alone the revenue from the seasons or whatever. So I was going to say that the Cavs, I think, probably just relegated themselves to a ceiling of the Eastern Conference Finals team. Donovan Mitchell's awesome. He's so good, but he's not Wemby and he's not Jokic and he's not Shea.
Honestly, learning about the teams and the owners is really depressing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is not the purpose of this hobby of learning about the NBA.
What's the positive spin? What's the positive spin? So Donovan Mitchell's been there for 3 or 4 years in Cleveland. He's been really good. There had been a lot of threats that he would move. The Knicks were always on the table as a potential team for him, but he's not going. He's staying in Cleveland, which for some 9-year-old boy with a Donovan Mitchell jersey in the suburbs of Cleveland, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. He's getting paid. He's super fun to watch. Really good player. James Harden just got signed too.
Oh, good.
The beard. So he just signed, I think he became the 8th player in NBA history to earn in career, just earnings from teams to make over $500 million.
That's great.
It kind of is great.
It is
right?
great.
It's great. How many can you name? I don't have the list in front of me.
People who earn over 500.
People just from, this isn't like Shaquille O'Neal sponsoring Nestle.
Oh, just from the NBA?
Just from their contracts.
Like total lifetime.
Total lifetime.
Jokic, right? Signed for 300 million?
Yeah, but I don't think yet. That was his first, I think that was his first max deal.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Michael Jordan?
I don't think so.
But because of the 90s money.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has to be in the last 10 years.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Steph Curry. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I don't know.
Jimmy Butler.
I don't know. Not Jimmy Butler. Call the list up.
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Devin Booker.
All right, wait, hold on.
What?
Devin Booker. Is Shaq on there?
No.
No. Wow. So it really does need to be recent. Who else has signed Supermaxes recently? Were you right with Jokic? No. Right?
No.
Next time.
Did I say Embiid?
Next time he signs. No.
Oh, I was thinking it.
Embiid's
on there. And then 2 more?
That we didn't say before.
I don't think so. Maybe one. You just said who re-signed with the Cavs.
Harden.
No.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And then one more. I always confuse him with this other player who got fired in the middle of the season last year. And everyone was like, what?
A player got fired?
Yeah. Remember Chris Paul? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I always confuse this player, Chris Paul. So this guy's name is Paul
George?
George.
Oh, wow. Huh. Interesting. That's weird. Those are very far from the 8 best players of all time.
Not very far.
Pretty far. I would say only one of those players is one of the best 8 players of all time.
Of all time?
Yeah.
If you take the top 50 players.
Yeah.
Where these people would be in that list.
What a great question.
Also, how are you?
Paul George would not be on that list.
Really?
No.
How are we quantifying greatest player? Like most points
you can't.
Scored?
You can't. It's all opinion.
Best winningest team?
Guy that could be the best player on a championship team, I think. Is a good way to define that.
That's not a good way to, that's a very confusing way to define. That would take forever.
Yeah.
We have to, if we're going to measure it, we have to measure it with numbers.
You can't. I don't think. Not that I don't think you can. This is why Jaylen Brown got traded. That's a way oversimplification. So one of the big things with that was that there was this talk about how the analytics of basketball, I don't know how far into this we've gotten, right? When I was growing up, people paid attention to points, rebounds, and assists, and maybe blocks and steals. And that was like how you told if someone was good or not. Oh, he scored 23 points a game. He's a good player.
Quantifiable.
And then everyone was like, hold on. If your team went 20 and 62 and you scored 20 points a game, that might be a little bit different than and when you got most of those points against the other team's second unit or second shift at the last quarter of the game. That's very different than like being on a good team and doing that in the context of winning basketball.
This is like this summer when Jim and I were walking home from the gym and we were comparing on our fitness apps. I was like, well, I reached 150.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, what is your set at?
Yeah.
Is it set at like 800 steps a day or something?
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's like. So now they have all these advanced statistics, which I don't dive into them, but the counting stats say Jaylen Brown is really good. I would say that's why Jaylen Brown got traded. So one of the stats that people point to is that the Celtics were outscoring their opponents by more points when he was off the court than when he was on the court.
What's that called? Is plus minus or something?
The team's plus minus per 100 possessions. Which is what you just said. It wasn't his plus minus was fine, but the Celtics as a team, their plus minus was better when he wasn't playing than when he was. So like that looks bad on the surface. And the Celtics had 11 like legitimately good basketball players last year. So their second unit would kill people.
But wait, how can you explain that? It can't be as simple as when Jaylen Brown is not on the court, they don't play as well.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly right. And this was the discussion. There was this weird conversation because Jaylen Brown starts games and plays against the other team's best players. So his counting stats are really good. The analytics people are like, it actually turns out that he's not that impactful of a winning basketball player. These are like the hardcore analytics folks. The whole thing might have been overblown, by the way. There was like an unnamed source who said that GMs evaluate Jaylen Brown as like, I don't know. There was some weird thing where he's not even the seventh best player on his own team. So anyway, and then there was this big discussion, this kind of pendulum swinging the other way at light speed in today's media landscape of, no, if you watch him play he's a winning player.
Yeah.
He gives a shit and he guards the other team's best player. And he every night thinks he's the best player on the team on the court in the fourth quarter and will go toe to toe with Shea and with Luka and with whatever. That was kind of the discussion. And there was some talk about the analytics influencing the Celtics decision about that. I was enjoying those texts with Anthony yesterday. Just that have you heard of this thing? Occam's razor?
Yes.
What is that?
Occam's razor?
Yeah, what is that?
The simplest answer is usually the answer.
Yeah. Isn't the simplest answer that like...
That was a crossword clue this week, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Maybe last week.
I don't know if I saw it. Isn't the simplest answer the Celtics needed to pick between him and Tatum as two max guys?
Yeah.
And
however, yes, but.
Yeah.
Yes, but all the things we just talked about with the money and the power plays of the owners. I am now not trusting NBA to make decisions that are not based in getting more money just for the owners and greed. It becomes more clear that the decisions that are made, everything is about money.
Yes.
But not equally money at the top. Yeah. Every decision is about money at the top.
Yeah.
Boo.
I agree. And let me paint a little distinction for you.
Okay.
So Brad Stevens is the GM, not the owner.
Okay.
Right. Those differences make sense.
So the owners have final say in everything?
I think so. Obviously, they're in the room if they're like, hey, we want to pay this guy $300 million of your dollars. So the Celtics owner pays Brad Stevens to make decisions about the roster.
Okay.
Brad Stevens' ultimate decision to move on from Jaylen Brown was a result of the second apron, but in the micro sense, they didn't really have a choice. The second apron makes it pretty much impossible to build a championship team because of what you were just talking about with like the trades and that you can't it's just so hard to improve your roster if you're in that position. So I think like the Occam's razor of it is that they realize that if they want to compete, they can only pay one of those guys.
Yeah.
It might be about that simple. I would have guessed that Jaylen Brown took that pretty personally after all he has done for Boston.
Sure.
Yeah. And he deserves to. I mean, Tatum didn't play last year and Jaylen Brown
really stepped up,
led this team to 56 wins or whatever. And I'm sure there's a part of him that's like, I'm better than Tatum, which I don't believe, but I think you have to be.
Yeah. That'll be an interesting game. When is it? Did you pay attention to when?
I did not pay attention. I almost want to say there might be a Christmas Day, Celtics, Sixers, maybe. I can't remember. Yeah, it'll be pretty fun.
But I want to tell you about a few announcers because I follow the announcers sometimes.
It's awesome.
This summer, Jacob Toby, who was the announcers for the Spurs, who we talked about, he got fired.
Boston's own.
That's right. He's from Boston. He rose to the top very fast.
Yeah.
And how exciting for him to be able to call that amazing season. And then in the summer, right after I think the championship, it's my understanding his girlfriend posted on his Instagram as if she was him. Really should have looked this up anytime before right now. That a picture of like him and another woman and was like, this is the woman I'm cheating on my girlfriend with. And then he got fired.
It was just a picture of the woman.
So his girlfriend posted on his Instagram stories, this is my girlfriend of 6 years, but I cheated on her with Lauren Waters, and then tags Lauren Waters. So feel free to continue following me if you really think I'm a good guy, because I'm not. Smiley face emoji.
Wow.
Yeah. The social media fallout led to reported Spurs exit. The timing of the reported departure stands out because the Spurs have yet to finalize local television home for the upcoming season. So they were changing. Sports Network ceased carrying the team's local broadcast after last season. And so it seems like they were switching like broadcast carriers.
Yeah.
And that he was positioned to make the transition.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, this is too much.
How do you feel about that?
I am surprised. Like, he's not a moral figure. I don't think it should have anything to do with your job.
Yeah.
This is a personal problem. Also, haven't NBA players done this? Like,
I don't think any NBA players ever cheated.
oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they did.
Yeah. And he does every game, he would say, remember, don't cheat on your girlfriend.
And they were like, hypocrites, not in this place.
In this league. Not in this league. The moral fiber is just too strong. Yeah, it seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. I wonder if he'll get another job.
I hope so.
I wonder.
To get busted on that and fired in the same week. That's probably, I don't know. I've got some deep thinking to do. I hope he's okay.
Did you reach out to him? No.
Maybe this is good luck, bad luck. Who knows? And he's finally going to get that music career up off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, he's always playing his guitar.
I do know that. You have a theory.
I think that's why he got fired. Because when I texted you this summer, I was like, oh my gosh, look what just happened. Why would they fire somebody over something personal like this? And you said, I wonder if there was something that, if they had been like,
straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing.
They were like, how do we get rid of this guy? And now they're like, oh, good. We've got a reason to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And my theory was that he brought his guitar everywhere and was like, hey guys, listen to this song I'm working on. And then would like sing at people.
No,
unbroken eye contact.
Yeah, sit down and listen.
No, I wrote this for you.
It's a good.
Wait, here, just
could be.
Go on.
Could be. Can't rule it out. It's tough. Yeah, maybe that could have been what got him. So the story is the social media blowback.
Yeah.
So violent that the Spurs were like, this hurts our brand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me tell you also about Denver announcers.
Oh yeah, Scott Hastings
and Chris Marlowe gone.
Wow.
So the comments on the internet are divided. Half the people are sad.
Katie Wingy?
Katie Wingy's the new
okay. All right.
color commentator.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know.
I don't know why they got fired. Or did they get fired?
So I think they didn't get their contracts renewed. But I think Scott Hastings had been there 33 years.
Yeah.
Some people were like, this is, unreasonable that they did this. And then other people are like, they're like past their prime. They were a little bit low energy, which I didn't see.
Yeah.
So now it's Katie Wingy and this guy, Noah Reid.
They said things like Birdie Num Num. Is that what it was?
Yes, they did. What am I going to make fun of now? Because I'm sure Noah Reid is better.
It's woke.
That. Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Noah Reid.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Being on a live mic for...
No, I couldn't.
3 or 4 hours a night for 82 days a year.
No.
I'm sure I would say something that in retrospect, it would be like, whoa, you can't say that.
We record for 2 hours every weekend and I cut it down to 20 minutes.
And most of the stuff that you cut will get us fired.
Totally.
All right. Sorry. So Katie Wingy and Paul Reed, who is it?
Noah Reid.
Noah Reid.
Noah Reid. He is from Indiana.
Okay.
And he's been announcing forever.
Oh.
So he started out, he went to Ball State in Indiana.
Sure.
Also, David Letterman went there. Look at me and my Indiana facts.
Yeah.
So he played one season of Division III basketball at a place called Defiance College in Ohio. And then after one summer as a broadcast and media relations assistant in Peoria, he got a full-time job with the BEK Sports Network in Bismarck, North Dakota. He called over 100 college and high school games that year.
Wow.
He says the job molded him.
Yeah, I bet. His teeth in Bismarck.
Yep. So after 5 years in North Dakota, he moved back to Indianapolis. He put in his notice without another job lined up.
Whoa.
Which is scary.
I do.
And the plan was to freelance and just see what came of it.
What did he do? What happened?
They gave himself 2-year time limit. And then he didn't need that much time because 2 days after I gave my 2-week notice to my company in Bismarck is when the people at ESPN called me to do my first game. He got picked up right away.
Yeah.
Says, I paid my dues in a very small market in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah.
He did. So when I was looking for information on him, it led me to his Instagram. His most recent post is him proposing to his girlfriend just this last July.
Okay.
They've been together for 9 years.
Wow.
That's a long time. So I was like, who is this person? And then he tagged her. So I went to her Instagram. She is a little more interesting than he is.
Okay.
Her name is Kara Mund.
Okay.
She is from North Dakota, from Bismarck.
Oh.
So they must have met there.
Okay.
She is 2018's Miss America.
Miss America.
Yes.
Wow.
First woman from North Dakota to win.
Okay.
And a real Elle Woods Legally Blonde thing. She graduated from Harvard Law School.
Wow.
And she's an attorney now.
Wow. Cool.
I know.
Was
When
it?
she was in high school, she was voted most likely to become Miss America.
Oh, wow.
And then her honors thesis at Brown was about the Miss America organization.
Ooh.
So she's like obsessed with it. I'm glad it happened for her.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was all in.
I wonder if her thesis was like,
Gotta win.
or was like, this is actually a gross organization.
No, I don't think it was. I pulled up the article. I didn't read it, but I think it was like, I think she's very pro Miss America.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So they're engaged. I don't know when they're getting married.
Now, did she have, Miss Americas usually have
Platform?
well,
Like a charity?
an
She-
initiative kind of thing.
Yes. So since she was 14, she's been like doing fundraising for Make-A-Wish.
Oh my God. What better job for your fiance to have if you're big on Make-A-Wish than to
Yeah.
be a
Right?
basketball announcer?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Jokic will be in a hospital room every week.
I know. Maybe she can focus on this. I don't know if she's gonna. I'm assuming they're engaged. She'll move to Denver with him,
Yeah.
and that I don't know if she'll work as an attorney there. Got to study for the bar, pass the Colorado bar.
Yeah. So they'll probably move to Denver. Maybe. Money's probably not a huge problem in their family. Attorney, Miss America. I'm sure she has money. But it's actually like 40 games a year in Denver, but he would need to be there. I'm sure there's like
Oh, I see.
journalism stuff that
They do the work.
they like probably need to watch film together. I would guess the two of them to like practice, develop.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be super fun for like you to watch them get used to each other.
Yes.
I bet there'll be a big difference at the end of the season
I hope they bicker.
from the beginning, like playfully or like really.
Really.
Yeah, that'd be great. Anything else?
No, I think that's that. Slow news day.
Slow news summer.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to do a little bit of reading about like this ownership situation in the NBA. Maybe I'll have some more stuff to talk about next week because it is pretty interesting, right? The like uniqueness of that
Yeah.
situation. So maybe we'll have a chance. Anyway, did we do it?
I think we did it.
Good job.
Good job. Thank you for listening to Go Team Score Points. Today's episode is edited by Irish. Information from this episode came from Sports Illustrated and Yahoo Sports and CBS Sports. You can reach us at goteamscorepoints@gmail.com. Join us next week when we'll catch up on more gay things.